strange paradox in modern life? We have access to more information, more opportunities, and more ways to connect than any generation before us. Yet, amidst this abundance, there's a quiet hum of overwhelm, a feeling of being constantly on, but never truly present. It's a feeling of running a marathon every single day, without ever really knowing where the finish line is. We are living in an age of unprecedented progress, but many of us feel more scattered, anxious, and disconnected than ever. Why is it that the very tools designed to make our lives easier often seem to make them more complicated? This isn't a personal failure. It's a collective experience, a silent side effect of the world we've built. In this journey, we'll explore the hidden psychological currents of our time, not to find blame, but to find understanding and perhaps a way back to ourselves. The root of this feeling lies deep within our own biology. Our brains, the intricate command centers of our being, are fundamentally ancient. They were shaped over millennia to navigate a world of immediate, physical threats and rewards. Survival depended on our ability to quickly react to a predator or find the next meal. We're wired for scarcity, for focused attention on singular, important tasks.
Dr. Anya Sharma, a clinical psychologist specializing in cognitive behavioral therapy. Our brains are essentially running on very old software in a very new world. Think of it like this. For thousands of years, the human brain was optimized for a low-information, high-stakes environment. Your primary concerns were safety, food, and community. The amount of new information you'd encounter in a day or even a year was minimal. Now, fast forward to today, the amount of information we process before our first cup of coffee can exceed what our ancestors processed in a lifetime. Our brains haven't caught up. They still treat every notification, every email, every news alert with a level of urgency that was once reserved for, say, spotting a lion in the grass. This constant activation of our threat response system, even at a low level, is exhausting. It's a fundamental mismatch between our evolutionary design and our current reality.
Reality for millions, a direct consequence of what experts call cognitive overload and the attention economy. Our attention has become a commodity, fiercely competed for by apps, brands, and platforms. Dr. Sharma explains the neurological impact.
When we are constantly bombarded with information and choices, our brains enter a state of chronic stress. This releases cortisol, the stress hormone, in short bursts. Cortisol is helpful, but when it's constantly elevated, it can impair cognitive function. It affects your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, focus, and impulse control. This is why, at the end of a day, like Alex's, you might find yourself unable to make simple choices or feel an impulse to just keep scrolling mindlessly. Your brain's executive functions are depleted. Furthermore, this environment exploits our brain's natural craving for novelty and reward. Every notification, every like, is a tiny hit of dopamine. It creates a feedback loop that's incredibly hard to break, training our brains to seek constant stimulation and making it progressively more difficult to engage in deep, focused thought.
This relentless cycle of information and decision-making is compounded by another powerful force, social comparison. We're not just consuming information. We're consuming curated versions of this. Combination of cognitive overload, chronic stress, and social pressure becomes the norm. The consequences can be severe.
Burnout isn't just feeling tired. It's a state of profound emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion. The key symptoms are cynicism, a sense of detachment from your work and your life, and a feeling of ineffectiveness. It's crucial to understand that burnout is not a personal failure or a sign of weakness. I see it as a signal. It's your mind and body telling you that the way you are living and working is unsustainable. It's a protective mechanism, in a way forcing you to stop because the system is overloaded. Ignoring these signals can lead to more serious mental and physical health issues. It's a red flag from your own biology, asking you to reassess the environment you're in.
So, how do we navigate this complex modern world without succumbing to its pressures? The answer isn't to abandon technology or retreat from society. It's to reclaim our agency through intentionality. It's about consciously choosing how we engage with the world around us, rather than letting it dictate our every moment.
This can be as simple as having tech-free periods in your day, like the first hour after you wake up or the last hour before you sleep. Turn off non-essential notifications. This isn't about deprivation. It's about reclaiming your focus. Secondly, practice mindfulness. This doesn't have to mean an hour of meditation. It can be 5 minutes of focusing on your breath or mindfully drinking your morning coffee without any other distractions. The goal is to train your brain to be in the present moment, which is the antidote to the constant "what's next" anxiety. And finally, reconnect with the real, tangible world. Spend time in nature, have a face-to-face conversation, or engage in a hobby that uses your hands. These activities ground us and remind our ancient brains that there is a world beyond the screen.
Even small, deliberate changes can make a profound difference. The paradox of modern life may not have a simple solution, but it does have a path forward. It begins with acknowledging the mismatch between our ancient minds and our hyper-connected world. It continues with understanding the forces at play, not as enemies, but as challenges to be navigated with awareness. By setting intentional boundaries, practicing presence, and reconnecting with the tangible world, we can begin to quiet the noise. We can reclaim our attention and, in doing so, reclaim a part of ourselves. The goal isn't a perfect life, but a more present and intentional one. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. If this resonated with you, consider liking this video and subscribing for more content that delves into the psychology of our world. What small, intentional change will you make today?